So, my name's Frosty Hots, the caster, and welcome. So, let's talk about some strats on here, right? On All-Track Passage, you can go several things. Typically, you see a lot of PvP-oriented with globals here, because global is very crucial here. You really, you really want to prioritize. You really want to prioritize, those middle camps. But again, you don't need to dedicate a lot towards it because it's not a heavy macro map. But by manipulating the lanes with the global is always crucial. So, all right, looks like the first ban is going to be Samuro on the side of Minion miners. Interesting. I didn't know if anyone played Samuro on their team. And a follow-up ban is going to be Chromie. Excellent selection. Chromie is a great staller on this map. Does a lot of damage and is really, really dominant in the meta right now. Solid character overall. Great, it's good vision for the team. Great setup, depending on what you pick. And the slowing sands or time trap is completely annoying. All right, next up is going to be Lunara. Interesting. Maybe they're going to go Uther. We might see another double support here, right? So whenever you ban out a Lunara, to me at least in my opinion, the first thing I think about is, are they going to Uther here? Because a lot of times Lunara doesn't really get much value. I mean, she's great poke here, don't get me wrong. So there we go. Followed up by Better Than Bots. They are immediately banning the Uther, just as we were saying, because that was, if they were going to go for Uther on the side of Minion Miners, then it seems, it was a little giveaway. So appreciate it, Wes Greenet. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate your support, and welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. All right. First selection for the side of Minion Miners for the series is going to be a Falstad. Interesting. And good news is Falstad is able to play because they did a quick hotfix earlier today. So the patch notes that went live, Falstad is now allowed to be played. Just like Tyrael, but maybe we won't see a Tyrael. Ooh, okay. So Megan 420 opts in to pick the Deathwing first pick. Might be a little interesting only because you can heavily counter a Deathwing when you pick it early. But let's see, how this plays out on the side, Better Than Bots. Let's see what their strategy is. Because, I mean, obviously they know, right? They're going to get countered, potentially a Tygus, Leo, Malthael, percent damage characters, right? Okay, so following up will be a Tygus and a Lucio. I love Lucio. Lucio is definitely one of my favorite healers. I'm glad to see him being played more. All right, so let's see what the last ban is going to be for Better Than Bots. They need a tank, so, maybe you have a Garrosh because it's really good with a Tychus. Maybe a Muradin here. Let's see what they have, because ETC is a great choice. They should have something to counter the ETC Mosh Pit. Garrosh. Garrosh is the ban here. Excellent. All right, we'll do a quick stretch. Ooh, probably needed that, honestly. All right, last one for you, Jamie. We'll do a quick hydrate because the last one. And then we'll call it there for the request for the time being. But good on the stretch. I probably needed that, though. Fair enough, fair enough. All right, last ban is going to be for the side of Minion Miners, a Zul'jin. Okay, so Zul'jin does a lot of good poke damage. It's super annoying, especially when you stack them, as I said before. I hate playing against Zul'jin, but in a good way, because Zul'jin does a lot of damage, has a lot of value, and me as a tank player, and I die to Zul'jin, it's really discouraging. It's just so annoying, because you're just stacking him. Okay, so we are going to get a Lily and a Sylvanas. Now, with a Lily, potentially, are we going to get a double support? Maybe. Lily's a little interesting. I did see that she got touched up a little bit. Didn't fully read it, but I have been seeing a lot of players, on stream today. They're picking at Lily, testing her out, and seeing. So let's see on the side of Better Than Bots, can they pull it off and make Lily work? Because Lily is definitely a niche character we use. All right, and lastly, for the side of Minion Miners, we are going to get a Mei and a Ragnaros. So far right now, on the side of Minion Miners, their draft is pretty scary, but for the time being, as far as I'm aware of, the only direct counter towards the Deathwing so far is this Tychus. I believe Falstad does have Giant Killer at 13, but depending on the build that the Falstad goes, may not pick it, may not select it, but still can be a nuisance to a Deathwing, right? So again, we will see how Deathwing is being played off. And lastly, Cassia is going to be the last pick for the side of Better Than Bots. We have a great show ahead of us, guys. I feel like we're going to have some great combos, great fights. We're going to have some great mechanics being shown here, and I'm so excited to see who wins the game. Now, looking at the draft here, you know, if I had to choose, really hard. You know, it is really hard. The Lily is throwing me off here. It's just, if the Lily can get ultimate value, then I truly believe that Better Than Bots has a pretty good draft. But on the side of Minion Miners, you have a lot of control, right? Ragnaros has a lot of stalling potential. You have a global, just like the side of Better Than Bots with the Deathwing. The False Net is really annoying and is really good, especially after this recent patch. So, all right, guys, we are going to game number 1, All Track Passage, and we are going to have a phenomenal time with this. I'm excited to see how they use the Cassia. I'm excited how they see the ETC, how they use the slides, how they use potentially Valkyrie. You might go Lightning Bolt here. All right, so I'm going to switch the overlay, and we will get started on our introductions to our team. Div A West here, everyone. First game of the series here. We're going to start off with the left side, introducing Minion Miners. Ragnaros being played by Marshall, Lucio being played by Westgraw, Tychus being played by Muradarin, May being played by Himibo, and Falstad playing by Cheese and Rice. All right, and introducing our right side team, our red team, Better Than Bots, Evo Alto on Sylvanas, 5 Aces on ETC, Crafty Trent on Cassia, Empress Sayana on Lily, and lastly, Megan420 on Deathwing. Good luck to both teams, and immediately we're starting not your traditional fight in middle. You like to see this because they're going to go bottom, so they have a different idea here. They're going to go ahead and start damaging the bottom wall because they have the Sylvanas, right? They're going to see if they can get a cannon shot here and do... Okay, no. Okay, so Ragnaros is going to go your standard E build now. It's pretty cool because I like the meatball build. It's really fun because you get the poke with it, but still an excellent choice for the side of Ragnaros here. And you're going to Falstad immediately go up top here. Go ahead and starting the lane phase, start soaking. Now let's see how they play. Are they going to play a 3-1-1? They probably will leave the Ragnaros alone. And at 1 minute, you'll probably see a Tychus and probably Lucio start that middle ground camp here. That's more than likely what you're going to be seeing here. But we need to see the value on how Himibo does play that May, because May is a crucial aspect to any team comp. You could be a devastation, but so can an ETC. ETC, in my opinion, if played correctly, can counter a May depending on how the May plays the game here. You can boop her around, you can lock her down, and it looks like we're going to get a Cassia versus a Ragnaros. This is going to be a lot of fun for the Cassia because he is a ranged character. But you do see a 2-man gank here. Does Crafty Trent here sniff this out? May go in here. May suffer this, and he does, and he gets it, and Cassia should go down here, but is it the cost of the Ragnaros getting hit by 2? No, May takes over the cannon tower shots. Great gank on the side of Minion Miners. Excellent first kill. That was very sneaky and very crafty. So as we see, because of that kill, they immediately were already playing on the camp. Cassia was unsuspecting of that kill, but do they really lose too much? Not really, but it was a very sneaky game. Pretty good. So I do believe that on the side of Minion Miners here, they're going to get a nice free clear, and because they did take their camp last, they're going to have the advantage. But with Sylvanas here, you're able to push out the lane, and as I was saying earlier, that one kill didn't really mean much because look at the XP rate, right? It's still pretty similar, but again, sneaky kills. But they are going to clear Better Than Bots Merc camps first. But it's just pretty much an equal trade. Both teams paid attention to both. And again, the whole point why you want to take this at that 1 minute marker around there is due to the fact that you want to have your camp on rotation. So when the first objective comes, which will come up right now, you will have it, and I think it's like 20 seconds, so 30 seconds. I was off by 10 seconds, but still, not too far off, right? So it's really good to have your camps on rotation. Now, Cassie is going to be ganked again. May is rotating down. Is Cassie going to have a rough game here because he is getting maybe a little bit baited, and they do secure it. So Cassie has died twice in the offlane against Rag. Maybe there's a lack of a call out on the 3-man here of a May, not showing, or no one's really calling it. So hopefully that does shift the elements for the side of Better Than Bots, so you snip that out. So again, now that the objectives are up, no one's touching it, and look what they're immediately doing. They should immediately start taking camp. Lucio is going to be the first to start proccing on their side. Now, what you can do is when you take this camp, you get your level 7 lead, you get your level 7 talent first, And then you can go ahead and start looking at this, because if they don't clear mid, and whoever takes it first, right, typically has the prio here, right? So in a sense where if the lane crashes here, right, and on the side of minion miners and their mercs are pushing into the wall, you get some good wall damage, but the retaliation is when they take on the side of better than bots, it'll get a nice clear, even though they may lose the wall. And again, it's very, very... Okay, so in this situation they won't. It should neutralize here, but there you probably will see some heroes on the side of both teams start clearing. So again, just because you take the camp doesn't mean it's not useful or useless, right? You're getting XP and you're neutralizing again. You're stalling out the mid lane, and it looks like they're just gonna keep prioing this, right? You can keep cycling out over and over and over. But while we're watching this fun gameplay on the mid, let's check out how top's doing here, right? We haven't been paying any attention to the Deathwing and Falstad. It looks like they're just having a stalemate here, right? So as you see here, right, back to mid, I'm just gonna hover up on the map, on the mini map here. So again, 45 seconds for both. They timed around the same time, probably almost perfect here. Yeah, so let's see on the side of, oh, they already started it. They just completely got off, because again, look, that means on the side of better than bots, I must have missed it, they cleared immediately and went straight bottom. So again, this gives your team on the side of better than bots an advantage, because you had to clear mid, or you would lose more than you should have. But they're just gonna immediately take it back. They got some damage, but do they get the Lily though? No, Lily should get away. Maybe Lily. No, Lily does not get away. I thought ETC had a good CC to get them away, but it doesn't look like it. But they are low on the side of minion miners. Can Sylvanas get any kills? No, but Deathwing does go in, and can they get any picks here? But Tychus does auto attack him with the trait. No, but everyone's low here, right? You can start to look here. Potentially, you got to be kind of careful, because you know Falstad is going to rotate in, and the Mei is going to stall, but they're going to use the trait, the Cataclysm, on the, I believe that's what it's called, the Cataclysm on the Deathwing here, to see if they can secure it. But they're going to stall here. Falstad's going to float and potentially look for a fly behind, but it might be a little risky flying behind. You should just float mid, right? Soak the lane like this, exactly. And you have a quick fly, or you're right there as a global. But it looks like they're actually just getting it when they are about to get the 10 advantage. They're just going to immediately take the mid camp to start stalling out the lanes. Interesting that they're giving this, because they did have a chance to still stall, but maybe there's something they have a better idea. You know, you do have your Ragnaros. That ult may have been casted just a tiny bit early, in my opinion, because you could still hit the objective, but maybe not, right? Okay, so no, he did time it well. And on the 6:05 minute marker, so he got both lanes. Great stuff. Still some chip damage on it, it's fine, but the most important thing is you cleared the wave. But you have two people going top, and Sylvanas is going to be deadly on this map. Can Falstad stop these two? Because Sylvanas' trade is pretty nasty here, but he's going to gust immediately to stall out for mid to get cleared. Bottom is being cleared by Ragnaros. Good lord, the amount of protection here. But Sylvanas should get a lot of trade down top. Do they punish the Falstad here? Oh no, the Sylvanas is super low. That would have been really clutch if they would have pulled that off, but Lucio's looking to kill him. Lucio may get him. Tychus is looking, and Tychus should get him with the spray and pray, and he does. Excellent rotation on the Lucio and Tychus pressure here. Good job on the Falstad for baiting him out like a piece of chicken, ready to be eaten, and then completely denied. It's unfortunate. The rotations are excellent, right? They're catching people off guard when they least expect it. All right. So Sylvanas will come up in the next second, and she should be rotating. So they're probably going to start looking at Merc camps again, because you still want to keep cycling out for each objective. So on the side of better than bots, you can start, go ahead. Sylvanas should be starting to go there, get some XP again, and get the cycle going. As I keep saying repeatedly, like a broken record, this map is all about cycling out your camps, get XP as much as you can, and try getting that lead when you can. And you can prioritize this. So Lucio and Tychus are starting theirs. Now, on the side of Cassia and Rag, does Crafty Trent get his vengeance? I am betting Crafty Trent is going to get some revenge. But look, the same old classic strat here. Mei is just hiding. Now, does the Cassia get baited here once again? And the Ice Wall is out, but they're going to hit him with the E. They're going to get a blind. They're going to stall him. They're going to W him. And does Crafty Trent get it? No. But do they get the kill, though, this time? No, they don't. A lot was used. That was close on the Cassia, though. Mei almost had it. The Ice Wall was a little interesting, because you could, potentially just WE in, but it is kind of hard to do it when you're right next to the gate. So again, trying to block off rotation onto a safe part, and they are really close to getting him. Great counter engage by the Cassia, sidestepping some hits here and staying alive. But when you have to look at You know, the cooldowns here, it looks like on the side of Better Than Bots, Sylvanas did cast her ult up top, potentially trying to silence the Falstad and the Lucio. So let's kind of check up top. So they're just going to clear mid here, and let's see what is going on up here. So you have Lucio and Falstad just kind of messing around up here, poking around. Falstad can just stay up here because, again, the objective is here. But if you're also that Falstad player, you can also look down here, right? You can fly to mid and have your rotation in here, right? Get more value here and let your team handle, you know, around here because it's around the objective. And guys, if I'm going a little too fast, my apologies on the clicking on the map. So it looks like on the side of Better Than Bots, they are going to be looking for an engage here, potentially, right? They're just kind of hovering there, seeing, getting some vision. Maybe May is just posturing to see if they're going to be taking theirs. So there is no engage. I was hoping to see. But excellent stuff on the side of Minion Miners. They're already starting their camp here on rotation. So as soon as this is taken, you can start looking to use that advantage to either A, push here, but more than likely you should look here, right? Because these two camps, on the side of the Better Than Bots, should neutralize, but you will more than likely get an advantage because look at this chip damage right again on the cannon shot. It may not be much, but over time that does add up. And ETC does finish his Frog Rock at 9 minutes, 41 seconds. Pretty good time, not bad. That means he's been on top of it. Cassia is rotating up from bottom, it's looking like. And maybe Cassia does clear the wave to let the wave crash. Maybe to get the, nope, okay, so they're no longer close to 16, but they're going to clear. They're going to try to clear, but they do cast a Cassia here. Can they punish this? It's immediately, but the team rotation on Better Than Bots comes in immediately, but no. So alt down on the side of Minion Miners. It looks like Falstad Gus is down too, so maybe they had a gank on him, and Deathwing is pressuring top, but you're going to get a nice clear on the side of Better Than Bots for Minion Miners. So can they take any advantage of this while they're sitting mid? No. They are getting close, though, for the side of 16 for Minion Miners, so maybe you play around for that. You have your Ragnaros for that. And again, it's timing it again. So at 10:30, I believe it's 10:35, the next wave should spawn. Yeah, 10:30, 10:32. So again, timed well by the Ragnaros. Excellent stuff by Marshall here. Timing it. But Marshall's going in. He wants the Sylvanas here. He's just punishing. Look how much damage is done. But is it the mosh pit on two people back here? Can they do anything for it? Is it going to be a complete punish on the side of Minion Miners because that ETC mosh pit was insane. Didn't even slide. He just walked right back there and just mosh had a big pizza party for them. Didn't even need, and he got the two people that can do any CC to him. Excellent walk up. Huge punish. 4, 5 aces. Excellent mosh just by walking up to the back line. Excellent. He did slide, but then he kind of stuttered and walked around. They should immediately start looking for the objective here, right? And potentially even send someone to clear. Cassia is going bottom here. The cooldown timers are a little low, so maybe clear. Get a quick reset, go back up top. I know Rag's going to be a little annoying. So they are going to back because they realize they are low on mana. That should be the mentality here, right? Okay, so they're going to tap. They are 16 equal. When you look at the alts here, right, both teams have used it, but it's looking more in favor of this side of Minion Miners. So, excellent. Exactly, Jagosh. That mosh into a Deathwing Q was pretty spicy. Roasted them like a kebab. Excellent, excellent, excellent. That was very exciting. So, you are going to have both camps, again, taken. These guys are on top of it. It's so refreshing to see this because a lot of teams and a lot of, you know, in your pub games, people just neglect the middle, right? The mercs. They do so much for you. Free XP, consistency over time. Someone will make a mistake, but as long as one team's consistent, you can get so much advantage here. Ragnaros is casting his ult again. Around that should potentially hit. Might be a little too early this time. That's okay here. He's looking for a engage here, but might just look to clear mid, but that could be a little risky because he is taking himself out of the fight into a 5v4. On the side of Better Than Bots, they are looking to engage here. Cassia will get stalled here by May and by Falstad here. Lucio is just sitting back here. They're going to ice wall all four of them. Might be a little waste here. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see how that plays out. They're just stalling over and over, but on the side of Better Than Bots, you're clumped. You're taking a lot of damage here. Free damage for Alili. I don't know if it's enough to keep them up here, especially for your both assassins here. You don't want to lose them both. And again, Cassia is getting low again. Can they do anything? Rides the meatball there, but Falstad does get potentially cut out. No, he doesn't, but Laser Drill is dropped. Cassia does go in, drops all, but Lucio hits him with the sound barrier. Excellent. Alts have been casted, both sides, but Mosh Pit is still up, and so is Cataclysm, but Gust is being held for the ETC, I would imagine here, unless they can get a perfect isolated kill. On the side of Better Than Boss. They are in a very good position here because, again, ETC's mosh pit can change the game. But if Falstad is playing very passively, you can negate that, and then you're on the better side of looking for minion miners. Both sides are looking good. Now, do they take that mid camp again, right? Now that you see where everyone's at, let's see what they do. They might look for a re-engage because not at this point, you don't necessarily need to take it because you see the enemy team, all 5, you know exactly where they're at, so you don't want to give them a numbers advantage. So on the side of Better Than Boss, they decided we are going to look for a re-engage. They got their tap in, and they're going to see if they can get it, but they're just going to keep stalling on the side of minion miners here, right? So Ice Wall is down, and they don't catch the Lili. Excellent. Now, let's see if they can stall. Falstad does take a lot of damage by the Deathwing Q here. That could be detrimental here because they, who knows, do they have tap or not? At this point is who has the bigger health bars here, and it looks like they're just going to give it, but is Crafty Trent too high? Crafty Trent is too high, Cassie is too high, but they should still stall this. They should not back this. They should not give this. Someone needs to stall that, right? You clearly stall this. You at this point, you have to commit to stalling this as a 4-man. ETC is peeling off the Ragnos, and Falstad gets a gusted, but can they stop? Yes, they do. They excellent stop. Can Sylvanas get out, though? Ragnos may catch them here, but is it enough CC? They may catch you. They will catch you. They have to catch you, right? Lili might be a little hard. No, they're going to 100% catch this Lili. So that is a trade that you take here. Unfortunately, you didn't get out ASAP, and they got pushed up top here. That is completely unfortunate, but you negate the objective to the side of minion miners here. So unfortunately, they probably won't get much value. Maybe bottom, maybe. I doubt it, but one can hope, right? But on the side of Better Than Bots, at least you block out, but this Ragnaros here is real, and I'm assuming, and Falstad, right? Let's look at the soak here. Image. Yeah, this Ragnaros and Falstad are doing so much. They're doing so much for them. Yeah, 22k, Falstad at 9, and the only highest is Cassia in the Deathwing. It's really, really, for soak-wise, that's the whole point of the Rag, is the late game. You punish over time by catching both the waves. I do agree again, Jacobs. I used to take that talent when it first came out. It looked really good, but you're 100% right. It is a bait talent. ETT does miss the Q slide, and because he can be aggressive, because May did not take Avalanche here, do they get anything here, though? Could they? Could they have potentially, in my opinion, right? Even though Lucio's right there, if Lucio was skilled enough, he could have stopped the mosh pit, but could he have solo mosh? But it would have been a little too early because the rotation was slow. But I do agree, it is a little bait talent, but it can get value if used correctly. But I can't remember the talent off the top of my head, but there's another Q talent. I think it's your ranged for your Q, or you get double Qs at 16, or is that 13 talent? Let's look. Protection. Okay, so it's 13. I can't remember what talent tier that is, but I believe there's a better talent for sure that you'll see more players take. So looks like they're gonna maybe potentially look at boss here. ETC is maybe trying to bait it out. I don't know if he's just going bottom, but Falstad did see the Sylvanas go up top. Okay, oh, this is an open lane for 20. They're gonna cast the Cassie and the Lili. Completely punished here. They shouldn't be here. This is a pre-20 fight. They need to get out. Great gust by the Falstad, and it's gonna look like the Cassie is gonna pop all, but Cassie should go down here. Lucio does push back, but Lili should die as well. ETC should be the only survivor here with Deathwing up top of the Tigers. Excellent look on the side of Minion Miners. You can easily start taking the keep. You should prio keep here. Deathwing is going to be rotating down. You prio keep here. You start taking your boss. You just do so much damage, but if you feel like you're getting too much pressure on you, you can just back up, take the boss for a secure keep, and move on with your objective, right? But does Marshall get caught here? No, he doesn't. And Laser is going to be popped. They're going to prio the keep here. I am not against this here. You have numbers advantage here. All you have is the ETC and Deathwing. Can you poke it down? They should be able to poke it down, right? They're going to back up. And that's fine. They decided that they're going to go straight to keep, or straight to boss, because they can still do that. They got nice chip damage on it, and boss will easily secure the boss. War Traveler, thank you for the name. Thank you. I could not remember that, but you are right. That does sound familiar with the insta mount and the movement speed. Thank you for that. Because I believe that Cassia would get a lot of value because there's a lot of ganks been pushed on that Cassia. So again, thanks again for the name on that. Totally forgot. All right, so now on the side of Better Than Bots, what do you do here? You can kind of poke down the boss a little bit, but at this point, keep is 100% gone, especially with minions being out, right? And on this map, your boss, your core regenerates health. You should look to prio top lane. You don't want to give them both bosses, right? This is basically done. All right, you, like I said, chip at it and move on. Because again, this is gone, right? And your keep will take care of it, take care of the rest, because it does regenerate health. But it looks like Cassia is going to be looking at mid and trying to get more pressure to help with lane sustain and push out. But you're probably going to see a counter engage from Minion Miners. They may end up taking their mid camp. They may push top. But if I were you, just start looking at the objective here, right? Because at this point, I mean, you could take your middle because you know on the side of Better Than Bots, they're going to clear top because they, you don't want to take too much damage here. If you're on the side, though, of Minion Miners, you are doing well. You're doing excellent for your team here. You're setting up your game. You're making sure you're clearing off the map, and you're getting vision of where the enemy team's at, so you can chill. Potentially send the false dad mid. Again, opinionated here. Send the false dad mid. It doesn't really matter. It's just really utilizing your heroes, and or potentially send it bottom, right? Fly wherever you want. So if you're on the side of Better Than Bots now, what do you do here, right? What is your plan? Clearly defend your keeps here, give the objective. You're gonna have to bite the bullet. You're more than likely going to be losing your keeps here because Ragnaros is going to be punishing with double lava wave here and false stat kid gank ever. But no, they're gonna go straight for a team fight here. All right, let's see how they handle it. But does the side of Minion Miners just get it like that? They don't need to. Excellent gust to stall. Laser was dropped. Might be a little bit in the wrong spot, but that's okay. They're going to just stall here, right? You have a Mei, and you're probably going to get a Mei W. They don't need to risk any health, but look how much damage Minion Miners do. But ETC catches the Mosh, but it is maybe potentially for nothing. They get a 4-man Mosh, but it's only Megan 420 there to do any damage, but doesn't get any kills. And I believe ETC may go down here with the Ragnaros doing a lot of damage because the E does a lot, but Ragnaros is soloed out by 3. Does he do a lot? ETC slides and catches him. Great counter engage by the Better Than Bots here. This is exactly what they need. Great protection by the Deathwing. Can he get out though? Can they survive this? I believe Deathwing will die here. Does the Lucy or Sylvanas die here? They two are dead for 1. And here comes the objectives for the side of Minion Miners. That is 3 people caught, a 3-man kill based off that. It was looking so good until the counter engage. And now this is probably GG, right? You have 2, yeah, this is 100% GG. You have 2 coming down the lane. And excellent stuff on the side of Minion Miners. Yes, sir. When things were getting spicy, they brought out even spicier things. They weren't nervous. Excellent game for game series number 1 for the side of Minion Miners. And again, it does come down to, and I'm not blaming anyone here. On the draft, though, they were punishing a lot of times on the Cassia, and the Lily was doing the best that Lily mechanics can do. But I do feel like for healers, again, this isn't on, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody here. I do think that potentially another healer could have been good just for maybe more CC, right? Again, not pointing fingers here, just theorizing and strategizing here. But excellent blow for blow here. It's just unfortunate because this was more of a dominating matchup for the side of Minion Miners. Again, by looking at the kills here, 13-3. Ragnaros did so much for the side of Minion Miners here. In that game, Rag did amazing. Marshall, good job. That was a great Ragnaros game for you. You did a lot here with your soaking 30k, timing those objectives, guys. Remember, with Rag, you need to make sure that you time. So anytime that you see a second time to, I believe, 0.5. So if you're looking at, let's say it's like 12 minutes in the game, look at 12:05, and you drop your lava wave because then you'll get both lanes. And the same thing at 12:32. Because every 30 seconds you will get another minion wave, and Ragnaros gets a lot of value. Falstad was wreaking havoc. Gust was on point. Excellent follow-up. And for the side of Minion Miners, GG for game number 1. Let's see how they play out game number 2. So I believe we're going to be waiting on the next map selection here. Guys, what do you think about this? This was a great game. Ganks were on point for the side of Minion Miners. It is unfortunate, though, that they, for the side of Better Than Bots, they were catching out the Cassia. I mean, it's hard to say you're getting baited because you're also in front of your fort, your fort wall, and then here comes a Mei out of nowhere, right? But again, that comes down with communication. Like, hey, Mei's missing, right? After the first time that a Mei ganks you like that on the Ragnaros, right, it is a possibility that they're going to try exploiting that to as long as they can, which they did, I believe, 2 or 3 times. So it's definitely something to think about, for comms, right? And that's just, again, a suggested opinion there from just basically watching. So I wonder what the next map's going to be. Let's see what the bans are one more time. Did they ban Towers of Doom? I still did see Dragonshire ban, right? Ooh, Towers of Doom is up. Maybe we get our first Towers of Doom game here. So Alterac Passage was one. Actually, let me update that. Now I'm realizing that. So we're going to update the score here and get the match here. Winner is the blue team. Okay, update here. Team here, update. All right, perfect. But yeah, guys, overall, great games here. Great series. But I want a game number 3. Can we get a game number 3 though? I want to cast all 3 games. You know, but you know, obviously if you're on the side of Minion Miners, you don't want that, and I completely understand. So just making sure, checking something here while we wait for the next map. Thank you so much, Jay, guys, for the follow. I appreciate your support. Thank you, thank you. So it looks like they are still deciding on the side of Minion Miners. They are determining what they would like to do here. But let's take a look at also, you know, while I'm here, Minion Miners. All right, Volskaya was chosen here. Volskaya. Volskaya is chosen. Foundry by the blue team here. That is what we're going to get.
I'm under the water. Please help me. Here, too much raining.
I like the draft, but Cassia was a little awkward, honestly. Too much dependence on the blinds away from Minion Miners had decent none. Yeah, I do agree. Cassia, I mean, it definitely was a good idea. Cassia is a pretty solid pick. Maybe more going into the Q build. I can't remember what the level 1 talent was, but maybe playing more for the range instead of, you know, going in. And unfortunately, though, that talent does bait out people. It's not even just the play there, right? It does bait people because you think that you're protected, then instantly a Lucio just boops you or a Mei boops you, right? So I've seen some great players play Cassia and they just stick to that Q build. Now, I'm sure, you know, even better, you know, Cassia players, they have their reasons to go what, right? As soon as you get more comfortable with Cassia picks. But it was nice to see, right, on the side of Minion Miners looking to counter here. But I'm excited to see what Crafty Trent has for us here. I want to see some vengeance for him, you know, because my name's Trent too, so I'm rooting for my boy Trent. I don't know him, but because his name's Trent, gotta give him brownie points. Ready when you guys. Ready when you are. Waiting for them to invite me. Thank you. All right. Overall, guys, you know, everything looked pretty standard for the side of both teams overall. But guys, let's talk about that mosh. Like, that's still burnt into my mind. Like, great mosh by 5 aces there. And I was sensing it. Like, I was like, all right, this guy is about to mosh right here. He slid and then kind of like, you know, walked around the 360 and then just straight mosh on the 2 best targets that you could get, right? For you got Mei and Lucio, and then Deathwing just absolutely punished with the great play by the tank for better than bots. Great mosh on that. I would have loved to see another spicy mosh. Now, to be fair, he did catch that 4-man, but it was unfortunate that Mei was there the counter, but I don't really think it would have mattered, unfortunately, only because of the fact that the team on the side of Better Than Bots was trying to protect the last seconds of that objective, which ended up causing that snowball effect of deaths. But nevertheless, it's still nice to see a 4-man mosh, whether it was you know, useful or not. It's still funny to see you catching a lot of teams in that. So, all right, guys. So we have a Volskaya Foundry. Great PvP map as well, but you do have a lot of macro assets in here, right? You could look at your Sylvanas, right, and go Merc Queen and do so much damage. Or if you're feeling extra spicy, you could get a TLV. Oh my god. If you can play a TLV, brownie points, because that character requires big brain. Big brain, right? But again, Merc Queen is pretty useful on here. Mephisto's devastating. A lot of mages, especially, because you're clumped up on a point, right? Li Ming gets excellent resets even prior to kills. You have your Mephisto that does a lot of damage. You have your Chromie, but that's probably going to get banned, because if it doesn't, that's pretty toxic on the point due to slowing sands more than likely, right? You feel me? That's awful. But let's look at tanks wise. You know, your Diablos. And I did notice that Diablo did get an auto attack nerf, but to be fair, not many people, in my opinion, are in this meta right now are probably going to be picking that because Tychus, Zul'jin, a lot of poke characters on dive heroes, especially with Uther again being part of the meta again, like you don't really want to dive in. I'm not saying that it wasn't viable, but you are starting to see more of a W pick build, right? Because you can consistently poke, wait for the right moment, and go lightning breath and completely slow and CC the team while doing a lot of damage. W does keep him up and CC, and make sure I tell him I'm ready. I am ready to go. So Diablo is now being, again, shifted back into the old Diablo that we know and love, right? WWW, back when he first got, I believe, 2-3 years ago, when he got Omega nerfed because his fucking Q range, excuse my language, because his Q range was insane. You could literally dive the back line from the core. Okay, obviously exaggerating, but you get what I'm saying. It was insane. It was so much fun because you could one-shot a Cho'Gall. I miss old Diablo. Please bring back old Diablo. It'll never happen, but please. It is so much fun. All right, everyone. Game number 2. In the best of 3 series here. Now, let's see on the side of better than bots. What do they do on their first ban? Are they going to look for? Again, okay, so we're going to go with the standard ban for Chromie. As we were talking about, Chromie is pretty toxic on here. Time traps are amazing. Gets great vision if you're going the... I like to call it the CCL build because you really see it predominantly there. It's really good. I always still go W and get a lot of value off of it because I'm a Chromie pleb, but, each their own, right? So on the side of Minion Miners, are you rebanning an Assassin or a Tanker? Maybe even a healer like a Stukov because a lot of AoE silence here. But you're going to get a Lunar. So again... they're maybe actually trying to just bait out the Uther, right? Like, that's pretty obvious that they're potentially looking for the Uther. Or, since they're first banning it, yeah, they might be trying to bait the Uther ban here. Like, they're probably saying, you know what, we'll sacrifice you Lunara. And, even though Lunara is not the greatest, right? But banning out Uther, who knows, right? Who knows the strat here? But that's the one thing I can think of. Or, I guess, hypothetically, if in a sense that they do let the Uther through because they think it's a bait, Uther will be probably first prio. So, again, it's just a psychological warfare here, right? It could be this, it could be that. All right, Volskaya Foundry, ban number 2 for the side of Minion Miner is going to be Anna. Okay, Anna's pretty good, sleeps on point, nano, and anti-heal. So they might end up picking up Mei again. Think about tanks here, right? Stationary tanks that heal themselves. They might actually go Brightwing here. Brightwing is super countered by Anna in the right hand. If you time your W's on targets, it basically negates your heals, and you're basically in a pretty unfortunate situation. So that could be it. Also looking at sleeps to negate any engage like Diablos. Okay, so we're going to get a Rainer pick here. Okay, Rainer's pretty solid. Doesn't really give much away either. So very neutral pick here. Rainer overall is typically a good pick. Very neutral character. Has great Exterminator. Has great Ace in the Hole. I don't really like the percentage build. So those two are typically what I like to look for, depending on what they're trying to do. But let's see. Alexstrasza and Deathwing here. Okay, so they're going for a beefy healer here with a Deathwing. Okay, so let's think here. Maybe Diablo or they're maybe going to hit us with a Cho'Gall. Now, that's like a 2% chance, but again, it's on the gambling board here. Could they Cho'Gall potentially? Oriole is pretty good. They do get the Deathwing. Now, let's see how they counter it. Oriole and Sonya here. Potentially a W Sonya because they might try playing a front to back comp. But as at the moment, Sonya has no E counter at the moment, so you do get a lot of value with your Whirlwind Sonya. Last bans on the side of Minion Miners. Let's see what they choose here. They still need a tank on the side of better than boss, so maybe look at that ETC, maybe look at Diablo, because Alexstrasza is rough, right? And that's pretty rough for an Alexstrasza, a Diablo. So let's see what they pick here. Mei. Okay, so no W on the Alexstrasza heal, but you're on the side of better than bots. You could potentially ban the Tychus. Hey, take the Diablo. Hey, maybe. Let's see if we call that. Oh, I called it. Oh my god, I called it. I called it. We nailed it. It was a Cho'Gall. Holy crap. It's a Cho'Gall. It's a Cho'Gall, ladies and gentlemen. And then they banned the Tychus on Better Than Bots. Oh my lordy. This is going to be an amazing game number 2. Let's see how they pick it up. So they do Tassadar and Diablo. Diablo was called as well. I'm just going to point that out. I did say that. Y'all got proof, right? It was on vid. Now, I honestly don't even know what the next pick. Maybe Li Ming, you know, maybe Mephisto. Or an auto attacker, right? So, you know, what auto attackers are left? You know what I mean? Like, I'm honestly having a brain lag here because I'm like calling these picks like, what is going on? But again, I'm loving it. Do they go with another mage though? Oh my god! They got the Li Ming. Oh my god! I'm calling it, baby. I am calling it today. All right, Minion Miners. Excellent stuff here. That was fun. That was fun in the draft. Li Ming is going to get so much value, but aside of Better Than Bots, though, is the percent Tassador's percent damage. I believe it's at 16. All right, yeah, you get that 8% damage. That is pretty nuts to do on the side of to do that damage to the side of Minion Miners here. But the problem is can you survive that long? But here let's talk about this though, right? Sonya is a better wave clear, right? Well, when I say better wave clear, I mean like by rotations, right? So let's see how they play the Cho'Gall here, right? Let's see. All right, everyone, let's introduce the teams again. This was a fun draft, everybody. All right, so we are going to introduce Minion Miners again for game number 2 on the left-hand side. Li Ming is being played by Marshall. Alex Strauss is playing by Westcraw. Deathwing playing by Murderin. Cho'Gall, Himibo, and Cheese and Rice. And now introducing Better Than Bots. Diablo, played by Crafty Trent. Sonya being played by Empress Diana. Oriole being played by Batman. Tassadar is being played by Mean42. And Rainer is being played by Evil Alto. Wow, guys. Wow, my heart is jumping out my chest. I'm so excited. I know. Give me my moment here. Give me my moment. I know. All right, let's get to the game, everyone. So it looks like Deathwing's just going to go bottom, potentially thinking that they're going to start soaking bottom. But again, the problem with the Cho'Gall comp here is you have to make sure that you keep your advantage, because the moment that you fall behind, if played correctly by the enemy team, by out-macroing and not falling into the amount of team fight that the side of Minion Miners want to do, because you can get away with a lot of macro pressure by just stocking up on your camps. But again, when you start fighting for your support camp, which you will probably see a lot, or prioritized by Minion Miners, again, Cho'Gall is a fight comp, clearly, right? It's 2 characters in one. It's 2 people in 1 character. They want to fight. And with a dragon, 2 dragons to be exactly, come on, that's busted. But can the side of Better Than Bots outsmart the draft here? Can they play more of the map? Can they just put pressure on the map? Because the rotation will be a little bit slower on the side of Minion Miners. You look further at and you start playing the aggression here. Sorry guys, I meant to put this up for you. All right, let's get more of a space out here. Didn't want to use it. So here's your zoom in. All right, perfect. So let's see. Sonya does go for block here. Okay, so that's fine. Does she go for the E-Talent here? Because I don't believe there really isn't much counter to her just to spin around the backline besides the Deathwing's abilities here. Cho'Gall's to level 10 could do it, right? With his hammer ult. Again, these are some heroes that you just don't get to see often. It's awesome, but look at the XP. It's equal. Can the side of Minion Better Than Bots though? Can they do something here? But they are focusing the Cho'Gall here. It's a little interesting focusing, and side of Better Than Bots, they immediately cap their top camp, but no one has started theirs on the side of Minion Miners, and might actually be to their advantage because no one is there protecting the top camp here. They may start looking for the mid camp. Li Ming is going to get a free clear on the side of Minion Miners. They get a free clear. Diablo comes in to protect the camp, but again, at this point, it's kind of like the same thing about Alterax's passage, but you can actually time these a little bit better, but it's all about rotation too, right? You can get great rotation. So 230 left. The objective will be spawning at 230, which is right now. So that means the objective will be up around your 520. I don't really want to do quick math in my head. That was one thing I struggled in school, so don't judge me. All right, so let's see the XP start flowing in. On the side of better than bots, you really have to play that XP game or get really, really fortunate. Get really fortunate with your team fights. Oriole is just taking in the shots. Tassar is going to cast a pre-wall here. And looking at the abilities here. Okay, so you have your Force Armor here with your Triumvirate. Here, Live and Let. Okay, so, which I've seen that a lot too, but I do believe Glow Build would have been pretty pog here. But again, let's see how important this is, because again, you can use that movement speed to your advantage when Diablo might be prio targeting you and you can get away, right? That's something I'm thinking about. And Cho'Gall is, or excuse me, not Cho'Gall, Deathwing might be going into the Conflagrant build, the Q build. So everything looks pretty standard here. Okay, so no, we are going to get a W build Sonya here, a front to back comp, which is pretty much what that is on the side of Minion Miner. It's going to be a lot of people in your face. And looks like we are going to get the auto attack build for Diablo. Pretty good, actually, in this situation, because you can sustain the damage here, right? You can hit the Cho'Gall, you can hit your Deathwing, and consistently get a lot of damage here. All right, so on the side, looks like they're going to clear both lanes here. Again, a lot of stagnant, but look at the XP. It's slightly going, and Sonya is immediately taking that game. And great stuff on the side of better than bots. Getting out of the situation, because you know your Sonya is down bottom, and they're losing XP top, and they will get a camp advantage. Li Ming is wondering, does he go top? Do I stay mid? And he's going to go immediately top, but Li Ming may turn back around because Cho'Gall is going to be the target here, potentially. No, Deathwing is using his Q, and here comes an Alex Shaw's a heal. Li Ming is top, and they see this. Can they pull off the objective down bottom? They are. They're going to secure the first protector. Good stuff on the side of better than bots here. Let's go. Let's see where you go. Okay, they're going to prioritize top. They're going to get a little bit poke mid, which you do see on the rotation up here. Li Ming's going to get a full combo here. That's all right. They potentially will set up. They should set up the top lane, but again, as I've always said here, and I'll continue saying about this map, I do also like, depending on the situation, like the prio bot lane for the third objective here and let someone go top. But they don't even get the well here, they just get the wall here. They got to be careful here because Oriole is in a risky position. Diablo does flip and gets the auto attack damage. That's why he did it, but he still has his support camp here. He should be able to get out, right? Surely he's fine. They're just going to keep fighting it. They want to take the advantage here, but they should be careful here because they are close to it. They don't need to really force this much anymore. They're just going to keep poking out the Cho'Gall here. And Alex is on the wall here. Does Diablo see it? No, Diablo might be on cooldown, but Diablo is getting a little low, but has Soul Shield, right? Great pick by the Soul Shield. Look at that damage negate because Cho'Gall and Li Ming, your mage heroes, right? Or Gall and Li Ming. Great pickup for Soul Shield, and he used it correctly, right? And he's definitely activating it because you can clearly see him negating a lot of damage. Good stuff for the Diablo. It's again refreshing to see these kind of things that you just don't get to see often. But I'm glad they are doing it and practicing that. Good stuff. All right, Sonya is going to be clearing out lanes, double soaking, but look, again, they got the 10 advantage. Are they going to be fast enough on rotation, right? You could, it's a little late, it's all right, but Li Ming is top showing, right? Could you, okay, so 10 is collect on both sides. Let's look at the talent choices here at level 10 here. So again, looks pretty standard, no Calamity though, interesting here. Because there are some squishies on the side of better than bots, especially with the beefy front line. Looks like we're just going to get a Q poke build here. Which is a little different on this map. I know we had this yesterday when we casted or did B game on a BOE. So you do see this. That's really good. All right, and then you're going to get Lifebinder. 50-second cooldown. Insane value for Cho'Gall. Bellowing Roar for the Fear. Cho'Gall is going to go the Hammer for the Sun on the Sonya. Great stuff. But Diablo is super low. Needs to be really careful. You maybe know the healing camp's going to heal him up. But do they catch the Sonya here? Is it really worth catching the Sonya here? Because Sonya can just get away, right? Oh, they're going to catch the objective easily. They just need to pick it up, drop it down, look for the fight here potentially. Raynor is going to go down. Maybe you save it. Maybe they don't. Cho'Gall might focus now on the Sonya here. It's super low, but Crafty Trent, the Diablo does peel. It might have been a throw here. You need to drop that. It's unfortunate because the Diablo could have got out, lost his souls to peel for the Sonya. Sonya was already safe. That is unfortunate that he lost that. But look at the value up top. They might get some chip damage on the note because of the shield. It's going to block it. But they're going to immediately start the bot camp. It's just Cho'Gall stiff it out, though. Probably saw that animation there, but knew I don't need to be there. We'll just soak the lane and we'll call it a day, right? Excellent stuff. So level 10 actually was not selected yet by the Diablo here. Interesting. So maybe he's waiting to snap pick it here. I mean, you already see the other level 10 so I wonder why he's holding it here on the side of BTV. I'm just curious. Okay, so it is gonna be Lightning Breath. He's gonna see the value in a lot of poke, a lot of CC here. Not a bad pick here because you can get comboed off of your APOC. When you look at characters like Cho'Gall, you could look at characters like the Alexstrasza's Dragon's Out. Just a lot of counters to the Diablo APOC here, and Li Ming's Repulsion here. But Li Ming is a little caught up, but does teleport away. It's unfortunate they didn't get that wall stun because that would have been huge prior. But let's see on the side of Better Than Bots. Can they get the objective again? Sonya is bottom, is rotating top. Cho'Gall is poking out mid. It looks like Sonya's going to catch that wave here. Oriole's stepping a little high. But can you start Prio? No, Cho'Gall's going to be there. And they might be a little too high for squishies. Oriole does push back the Cho'Gall here. And Cho'Gall is looking to be a little aggressive here because that 13 talent advantage just for the slightest bit. Sonya is going to catch that 13. Both teams are now 13. Let's see the picks here. So we have a glass cannon Li Ming. That's pretty scary against the Diablo here. They are picking the Diablo because they know he doesn't have any souls. Diablo might be excellent pushback. They knew that was going to happen. Diablo should go down here because he's super low. No, instantly Oriole, but Oriole is really low herself. Diablo goes down and Oriole goes down. Can they get any more resets here? Crafty Trent, the Diablo does sidestep the Q, but gets instantly killed by the Li Ming by going into the Cho'Gall, and Li Ming catches the Rainer. Completely ragdolls his character. Looks like Glass Cannon Li Ming is paying off here. That's not bad. Not bad at all. So, looks like the Sonya is going to get the counter to just taking top siege. They do have another fight in them here, right? Deathwing is now bottom, but most likely has a global. Cho'Gall should start his bottom camp and have camp advantage here. This is the part where it's good to be the winner of those team fights because you can steal points, you can play it safe, right? And you can take a support camp advantage. But I think Sonya is looking potentially the same thing. No, they're going to send the Rainer more than likely there, because Sonya is negating the damage on the Deathwing, which they already prepped for the third phase here. And as you can see up top, right, Diablo, Oriole, and the Tassadar are going to take back the objective. But that is only because they are just playing safe. They're waiting for their Cho'Gall and Deathwing. Deathwing is in the air right now. Cho'Gall's looking for a fight. Again, Diablo doesn't have any stacks here, and Deathwing's going to go in. Diablo should be the target here as they just isolated him. But Diablo is probably pinging the Li Ming, but can Diablo get out? Diablo does W's, but can he get out? Yeah, it's a scary thing. They should get pushed back, and Diablo should die here. Ret's roared back in, feared away. Feared away by the side of Minion Miners. It is rough as a Diablo player when you have no souls against a team fight comp like this. Again, they're playing into the PvP aspect. I just don't think they have it right now to take on a head-on fight into Cho'Gall, especially when Diablo just doesn't have souls yet. 39 souls, it just isn't enough. It's the unfortunate part about playing Diablo, as I was saying. But they're going to counteract with Better Than Bots. They're going to bite their losses here, get their siege camp, and prepare to defend here. The siege camp is pretty useful. They can use it to counter in team fights as well. Woo. A lot of team fighting here. There's a lot of team fights here. Okay, so they're more likely going to go down. They're probably going to poke down mid for free. The mid fort should be gone, and then you could prioritize bottom. I mean, your well is already gone down bottom, so it's excellent, but by taking away their fort, you take away their retreat point, right? So again, as we were just saying, you're probably going to take your mid fort for free. And free as in a deserved protector. Wow, I did not know that Gall could use abilities inside the protector. That's how much it goes to show how much I know about Cho'Gall, because you really don't get to see it that often, right? So looks like they're going to clear the wave, let the lane push in, and now they're going to prep for bot fort here, right? And this is pretty much gone, but you can try negating as much damage as you can. Looks like Diablo is trying to go for the flank, potentially looking for the Li Ming here, right? But gets away because he sees a Deathwing, and Alexstrasza is playing safe. But let's talk about that Alexstrasza for a few seconds. Do you see how Alexstrasza was sitting back? A lot of healers in potentially pub matches, they end up throwing, but the Deathwing is caught out completely. Can they punish him? No, they don't. Deathwing's ult gets him out, but can Diablo do anything? No, Diablo can't do anything else, and they're now going to secure the mid fort. Maybe do they secure the mid forts? Well, they are. They're going to come back to it potentially. No, they don't. They don't. I thought they were going to, but they don't. But again, that quick reference here, you see how the Alexstrasza was just playing back because she saw the Diablo potentially looking at a gank on her. Great observation by the healer, understanding the risk because you have 3 people inside of the protector here. Again, that's just a mental note for players of why was the Alexstrasza so far back? Most likely because she just didn't want to be caught out, and you see that a lot in your SL games. It's annoying. It's super frustrating. So, good job by Westcroft for seeing that opportunity to play safe. Sorry, I was either trying to decide was he playing safe or not to get hard engaged on by the Diablo. All right, so both teams are 16 here. You really need to take a pre-20 fight, right? This is your way back in the game. You are both now on equal talents. But maybe catch out someone, right? You do see the Deathwing top. You know that Cho'Gall is more than likely bottom because you see Li Ming mid, you see Deathwing top. So who else could be on that camp? Probably the Alexstrasza, but looks like Cho'Gall and Alexstrasza are going to prio bottom. At this point, bottom 4 it's gone, right? Just start pressuring top. Like, you need a counter. You need to see the counter soak here. Sonya is going to go down here due to the hammer by the Cho'Gall here, the Hammer of Twilight to stun the Sonya out. And again, here we go, right? They're going to push top because they know bottom's gone. But do you give the bottom keep wall, though? Is that worth it? I don't think that's worth. I don't. I think some of the players on the side of Better Than Bot should have backed here to protect this. Now they're going to get some free chip damage. Look how much damage is being done. They're going to target the Cho'Gall here. And look again. Or Alexstrasza knew, I'm going to mount up, get space away from the Diablo, and went down bottom here, right? Good stuff. Now, on the side of Minion Miners, this might be a little risky here, right? No, maybe not. Deathwing is rotating, so it's a 4v4 here. Can they do it? And here comes Alexstrasza's ult or trait here. But holy crap, look at the damage on the Li Ming here. Bunch of value. This person should die. Oreo died, and should be a reset on the Diablo. This might be game if they get a repulsion combo on here, but doesn't. This should bare minimum be a keep here now. Right, you can do a lot of damage here to the core here because you're missing a front line. You only have your DPS and Tassadar here, and Tassadar is level 17, doesn't have the Twilight Archon where he can keep Archon up. Do they catch the Tassadar now because he is high up? And he does. He gets completely obliterated by the Li Ming. Absolute domination by the Glass Cannon build here, completely sent back to the Nexus. Now, this is probably looking like game. You have your healing camp down. They drop their siege camp. Can Sonya do enough here? Can Raynor do enough here? I don't believe it. I don't believe so. I think this is just too much damage on the side of Minion Miners. This is crazy how fast that game went out. Are they going to be able to do it? Raynor is completely obliterated by Conflagration build here. It's not enough. Cho'Gall does it. Here we go. My first Cho'Gall game. Wow, look at Diablo right there, dude. He was about to be sent back to the Nexus. GG on the side of Minion Miners.